so far in this series, and here we go. As the draw is controlled by the Red Wings. And on the far side, a good hit delivered along the boards by Keith Tkachuk, who's been a physical force so far for Winnipeg in this series. Meanwhile, Bob Airhead will pick it up, and he clears it the length of the ice. Going to be an icing call here against Detroit. And now a little bumping between McCarty and the Jets' Craig Muni as that icing call was made. A little discussion about it, but no damage done.
Scotty Bowman knows that the Winnipeg Jets are going to be here in Game 6, trying to physically go after his Red Wing club, especially in the early going. This building, you cannot hear yourself think. These Winnipeg fans savoring every second that they have this team here. Of course, they're moving to Phoenix next year. And the Jets have got some extra life after Friday night. And Terry Simpson can only hope that Nikolai Khabibulin is as spectacular as he was in Detroit, and his team can begin to generate some offense, Pat.
He is likely going to need a similar performance here today if the Jets are to extend this series. Here's the draw. Cleared in behind the Detroit goal. Now Fraser wrestling forward along the boards. Here's Zemnoff with a shot. It didn't get through. And Larionov comes out for the Red Wings. He's going to chip it in there. Newman in back for Winnipeg. Couldn't field it. Now Fedorov does. He's bumped but gets help from Larionov. Larionov cuts in behind the goal. Center. Nobody home for Detroit. Fetisov has to chase back for the Red Wings. Now Fedorov. Gets help from Fetisov, who clears it out to center ice. It pass, a long shot, and it's steered aside by Vernon. Now back of the Detroit goal, Mike Vernon leaves it there. Shannon goes crashing in, kicks it loose, and the Wings Johnson able to pick it up and push it back into the Winnipeg zone. McIver chasing it down, icing coming up against Detroit. We should tell you about the officials today. Rob Schick is the referee. The linesmen are Randy Mitten and Brad Lazarowicz. And how about these fans? You never heard a warm-up like that, have you?
That's something, Pat. They're cheering even the icings here in the building. There is beefed-up security because of some foolishness that happened after Game 4 here. And they certainly hope the genuine Winnipeg Jets fans that just a small few don't ruin it for all the rest of them. But with this team moving to Phoenix, of course, the tough situation. And a lot of people very upset about that.
I think they do deserve some marks in the during the anthems, Mickey. I guess when the Red Wings were here earlier in the series, they were booing the United States anthem. But today, what they did, they just cheered "Go Jets, go!" So it was a much less negative feel in the arena. And hopefully there won't be any of the nonsense that did take place here during and after Game 4. Shannon clears it out to center where the rookie Shane Doan chips it in. He was short of center, but this puck is not ruled icing. And Bergevin for Detroit. That's left the boys to Cicerelli. Meanwhile, Bergevin got a big hit from Doan. And the puck cleared down into the Jet zone. Primo tried to play the man and missed Manson and left the puck there as well. Into the corner goes Draper, battling with Eastwood. Now a couple of others join in. Here's Draper coming out with his center one, tipped right through the goal crease and eventually to the stick of McIver. More McIver. And they chip it into the Detroit zone as both teams make changes on the goal. Veteran Mike Ramsey starts the wings away to the left side where Draper rolled it back into Winnipeg territory. Everidowski lost the handle. Now carried on by Tkachuk. He's knocked down by Johnson. Out of the line, Mulkey. He got a heavy hit from Muni. The Jets trying to be physical here in the early going, and now Khabibulin is going to take a whistle. And every hit, you said it, Nick, every hit draws a huge response from these loyal fans.
That was Tkachuk at center ice, knocked down by Maltby. He's in the lineup today, replacing Doug Brown. That's the only lineup change for the Red Wings. Maltby played here in Game 4, played well, played physical, got an assist. and earned himself another start today. Tkachuk, who was out of control in games 1 and 2 in Detroit, took some bad penalties, put his team in a bad position, got scored on, finally began to get it settled down, Pat, in game 3 out here. He's too good a hockey player to spend that much time in the penalty box.
His captain told him that too, didn't he?
He sure did. And you see the C on Tkachuk today, because Chris King is out, of course, with a knee injury. And there he is with special permission for the NHL to be an assistant coach today, behind the bench with Terry Simpson.
Now the Jets, Eddie Olczyk on the left wing board, shooting one in. Coffey chasing for, jammed it to Erie. And he put it in behind the net. Now Jamie tried to center, came back to put it in front. What a save by Vernon. First good chance of the game for the Jets. And Mike Vernon shut the door. It's early and scoreless in a loud Winnipeg arena. Game 5 of the healthy short bench the Jets had as that game wore along. We asked Olczyk about it before this one. He didn't think fatigue would be any sort of factor at all. If any of these Jets are tired, this crowd's going to lift them up.
They're going on emotion too, Pat. And this series has been a quick-paced series, and Jets are trying to get every ounce they can out of this thing because nobody expected them to go more than 5 games against the Red Wings.
Konstantinov passed up, lucky, but captured by Kozlov, stepping and shooting, scores! Vyacheslav Kozlov up over the glove of Khabibulin, and the first good chance of the game for Detroit goes in. It's 1-0.
Looked like Kozlov may have caught Khabibulin moving. He moved to his left, and he snapped the puck before he really quit skating. And the Russian 5 do their thing again. Right down the middle, you see Numanen out of position, can't get over. And Kozlov going to his left, goes back to his right, beats Khabibulin over the catching glove for the early 1-0 lead. 3 minutes and 46 seconds into the hockey game. Second goal of the series for Vyacheslav Kozlov. And that's one of the things that they've talked about, Pat. When we were speaking to the Red Wing players earlier today, we want to get our shots away quicker. Don't leave this kid a chance to set up, because when he does that, boy, he's unbelievable. So look for them to shoot quickly. It doesn't have to be a hard shot, just on the net.
Here comes Yzerman over the line. He's surrounded though, and it's stripped away from him. Harry shoots it in. That's the thing, Mickey, talking to many of the Detroit people before the game today, they didn't seem to be particularly concerned. Yes, they didn't want to have to come and play this game, but how much better can they play than they did in game 5? They were just beaten by a red-hot goaltender. That is the one thing they did talk about, though. Quick release on the shot. Here's Harry trying to center. Hit the side of the net. It went to Yzerman. Steve Yzerman, watched by McIver, who gave him a bump along the boards. And they're going to hold it there for a whistle.
Now, just to follow up on that thought, Pat, Dino Ciccarelli now is just coming on the ice, playing with a broken nose. But the guy like McCarty and Ciccarelli will go to the front of the net. They camp in there every chance they get, especially on power plays, to try to get that goaltender off his sight lines and disturb him with the shots coming through. And even though Detroit had 52 shots the other night, a lot of them, Khabibulin could see them, and they were big wind-ups, big slap shots. And they want to try to change that today by getting the puck away quicker and getting guys to the front of the net to create traffic and kind of get this guy off his game a little bit.
Mike Ramsey getting Detroit set up. Moved it to Lidstrom. Chipped it up the middle. There's Primo. He streaks over the line. He's in on Tverdowski. He shot it just wide, and then dislodged the goal as he went crashing into the far post. Right now, let's go to JB in our Hollywood studio for this NHL Pizza Hut game break.
I want the real players or the phonies today. Let's see who shows up. Pretty strong words.
Chris Draper delivered a good hit to Shane Dunn, and Primo got right in front of his net nearly, but managed to work it to the corner. Then it's held in. Here's Tverdowski at the slot, center one. He didn't connect with Shannon right in the goal mouth. Now it's chopped loose, and the wings Primo control. Primo sends it in. Detroit heads for funny hop, and I think Khabibulin made the save just as the puck got to him. It took a crazy hop and nearly trickled through the legs.
I'll bet you his heart was in his throat that time. There's Dino Ciccarelli, not wearing a football face mask or anything. Broke his nose in practice 3 days ago with a collision with Marty Lapointe, who has not played in the series. And Dino said, he said it's probably the 10th or 12th time I've broken that thing in 15, 16 years of NHL wars. That I'm not wearing anything in front of me. It distracts me too much. Just re-break it, set it, and let me go.
There's another guy that can't wait for tomorrow. Yeah. He gets better looking every day.
He is a competitor, boy.
Oh, man. You saw the numbers. 8th all-time in the playoff goal-scoring list. 69 goals in postseason competition. Igor Korolev chipped it ahead. Jamnok one-on-one with Konstantinov. Konstantinov played the body all the way. Rising into the corner. Kozlov then mishandled it, but gets a little help. And Fedorov walks away for a check to center. Now has the line, but mishandled it there. And Jeff Finley able to clear it to center. Jamnok surrounded by red sweaters. Unable to advance it. It is taken away by Kozlov. 1 against 3 to the line. He was surrounded there. Larionov picked it up. Clearing it in. Fedorov chasing it on Newman. They lock up one another, and Shannon gathers it in for Winnipeg. Leading Manson to center. Dave Manson on the top. Manson, who's got a great shot, flared about 100-footer. And it beat Vernon to the glove side, but hit the inside of the post and came out. That's less than an inch from being a goal, I would imagine. When we get another look at that. Wow. Here's Doan. Back to the line. Good. Hit a line of large by Bergeron, who crushed it. And Johnson looking to clear. He puts it up over the glass and into the crowd.
Baby, they're going nuts. I love it. Young Chad Kilger hasn't played a ton in the series. Big, tall kid. Really went after Maltby. Doan took a big check from Bergevin. And the Jets come within a hair of tying this hockey game. Dave Manson with about a 80-footer. And what he did, Pat, is he just sort of took it easy, like he was going to dump it along the boards. And he turned at the last second and whipped it to the far side. And Mike Vernon was just about to go to the outside and go back and retrieve it. And
he was on the inside of that post,
yes,
too.
It was. It sure was. So he caught him, but he faked him out.
Kachuk and Yzerman will go for the draw. And Yzerman got it to McCarty, who chipped it around the boards. Bob Airy on the left side. Safely clearing it into Jet territory. Veteran Craig Muni chasing it down. Tverdovsky, who was bumped, couldn't get it out. Airy to the corner. And into his own man, McCarty, who had been knocked down. And here come the Jets away. Tverdovsky with a 4-on-3 rush. Gets to the line, was Pochek there. Nice stand-up play by Ramsey. And that took care of that rushing opportunity for Winnipeg. Craig Muni will send it in. Vernon tangled behind that. Going to be a penalty coming up against Olczyk, I believe, as the Jets control the whistle sounds, and Ed Olczyk is going to beat Rob Schick to the penalty box. Will be shorthanded trying to hang on here. The Detroit Red Wings with 7 power play goals and 33 chances so far in the series. Here's Larionov. Has room on the near side. Takes a look, now shoots. Harry Bullen stopped it. Rebound to the corner. Kozlov moved it to the line for Tisov. Moves to the deep slot. Now here's Fedorov. Heels back with it to Tisov, who unloads. And a save by Harry Bullen. Rebound cleared into the neutral zone. And it was nearly an offside play against Detroit, but the linesman says play on. And Konstantinov will, feeding Kozlov over the line. He's surrounded and got help from Fedorov. Side of the net, now Fedorov has it once again. Out to the line for Tisov. To Fedorov, a one-timer. Hit the goal post. That was the inside of the near post that Fedorov hit with a rocket. In behind the goal it goes. Now Larionov comes out of there with it to Fedorov. He had it knocked away by Stapleton, and he gloved it back to center ice. Just under a minute left on the Detroit power play. And the Wings captain Yzerman now has the line. Sweeps it nicely to Cicerelli, who leaves for Coffey. He's not shooting. Abby Boonen saw that one all the way. Stopped it and held it.
Hey, Paul Coffey right now, Pat, talking to Keith Primo, and that's exactly what they're talking about. Is Coffey was expecting Primo to go in front of Hobby Boolen to screen him. And most goaltenders at this level are going to just have a big smile for you when they think that you think you can beat them from 45, 50 feet, because you just aren't going to do it. But Coffey expects somebody to go to the front to screen that goaltender and hope to sneak one by him. And distract his eyesight at the very least, or completely screen him on the play.
Lidstrom now. To the corner, Cicerelli. Manson trying to work him over. Now Kachuk does. It's held into Coffey. Long flip shot is blocked by Zhamnov. And then Muni came away with it. Greg Muni tried to send it ahead. It deflects away from Kachuk. And it results in an offside call anyway. Right now, let's go to JB in our Hollywood studio for this NHL Pizza Hut game break. And in our game, the Winnipeg Jets trail the Detroit Red Wings 1-0. There's 14 seconds left on a penalty to Winnipeg's Eddie Olczyk. Many dignitaries obviously here for the last, or potentially the last game in Winnipeg. Were those guys all wearing white?
That political bunch has been here for the whole series.
Yeah.
They're coming a long distance, those guys.
Any of their phones ring, don't answer. Here comes Coffey for Yzerman. Plenty of room to the line. And Manson poke checked him there, but Yzerman trying to hold it in, finally lost the handle. Meanwhile, the Jet penalty over, and both teams were at full strength. The Red Wings come close on the power play, hit a goal post on the inside of the post, but did not convert. And it's going to be.
They waved it off.
Did wave off icing as the play remains alive. And here's a steal by Janney for Kachuk. He couldn't field it. A bouncing puck captured by Bergevin. He got it to Airy. And now Draper. Had a problem at center, but Coffey carries on. Oh, and he had McCarty wide open. He cuts in there. Center one. Blocked by McIver, who saved the goal. The net was wide open for Draper. Norm McIver just saved the goal for the Jets. Now in the corner they do battle. 4 players in after it. And McIver, now Manson and McCarty are ready to go, but then decide to back off. And McIver shoots it in. You see we're halfway through the first period. A 1-0 Detroit lead. And the Jets, Tavernowski flipped it ahead. Kozlov back forward. Good, gave it away. Shannon's pass deflecting. It's a drive. And that hit the side of the net, I believe, as Eastwood ripped a hard wrist shot. And the puck cleared back. And we're going to have a penalty coming up now against the Red Wings. Well, the Winnipeg Jets, who have yet to score a power play goal in this series, nothing out of 24, now get their first chance here today.
Mike Ramsey's to the box, but what a chance Mike Eastwood had. He went up over top of Larionov, tried to block the shot, and he wrapped it off the short side goalpost to the left of Mike Vernon, where Manson's was on the inside of the post, Eastwood's was on the outside, and there's the great stop by McIver as McCarty tried to shoot past it across the 33 Draper with the net wide open behind Hobby Boolen. As Pat pointed out, the Jets 0 for 24 on the power play. They just have not been able. The Red Wings led the regular season in the NHL in the penalty killing department. And they do pressure the puck, and they'll look to go offensively, even in a shorthanded situation. 2 shorthanded goals in this series already, Detroit.
draw. And now taken down behind the net. The play goes on. And the Red Wings able to clear. McIver and Newman are the point men for Winnipeg. Janney, Jannoff, and Kachuk out in front. Fedorov and Larianov for the Red Wings, along with Lidstrom and Konstantinov. Just miscue in a pass, and Konstantinov bounced it to Larianov. He had an opportunity to clear it, maintains possession. Oh, now the Wings trying to move offensively. Fedorov finally got stopped at center, and Janney starts back to Kachuk over the line. His pass hit his skate, and Konstantinov, or I should say Lidstrom, able to hold his ground and clear it to center ice. McIver brings it back in. Yzerman got it to Konstantinov, and he clears it the length of the ice with a minute left on the Winnipeg power play. Manson shoots it in. Yzerman and Janney in the corner. Puck jammed loose to Tverdovsky. Tverdovsky line flip shot. And it went to the line just outside the line as Vernon was sprawling in his goal crease. Now Manson a drive. Blocked by Bergevin. Harry chased it down and clears. Now Manson with Korolev, rink wide on the money for Tverdovsky. He's got the line racing in there. But into Olchek, a tough pass. He had to just try to advance it. He shot it wide. On the near side, it's picked off by the Wings. And Taylor able to clear it.
7 seconds.
Korolev. It is rush broken up by Primo, who deflects it over the glass and into the crowd.
Well, the Jets have only got 3 seconds of a power play left, Pat, and they still are going to be 0-4 when the 3 seconds go by, but they certainly got a couple of scoring chances on this extra man situation. There was a redirection by Korolev out in front. It hit Vernon in the seat of the pants, came down and just trickled by the left goalpost. He had no idea where that thing went after it hit in front on the deflection. There was Janney on that one, and boy, that was too close for comfort for Mike Vernon. Let's take a look from above the goaltender.
Drawn out of the Wings, and they cleared, and that'll take care of the Detroit penalty, and both teams are at full strength. Mike Eastwood looks for Shannon. The pass was behind him. And now Cicerelli. He had a two-line pass. It should have been. Here's Cicerelli over the line. Centered one. We're going to have a penalty coming up against Winnipeg. Here's Johnson putting it in front. Bouncing puck. Cicerelli couldn't get to it. Doan does. And the whistle sounds. And another penalty coming up here from referee Rob Schick with 7 minutes left in the first. 1-0 Detroit as the Wings will head to a power play.
Those are the kind of penalties the Jets took in game 1 and 2, and it hurt them. Usually the ones in the offensive zone, the unnecessary ones, you pay the ultimate price, and that usually is a goal against.
And this Detroit team is too good. You can't afford to take bad penalties against them. It's going to catch up to you eventually.
You're going to take enough just, playing the game against this team, but you can't go out of your way to knock people around when they're not allowed to play and put your seat short-handed.
Korolev trying to get it out. Can't. Cicerelli's pass deflecting twice, then held in by Lidstrom, who tees it up, shoots one. And the rebound did Javi Bullen, but it just eluded Cicerelli. Now Dino along the boards. Only lost it to Newman, and he clears it the length of the ice. Coffey is quickly back in there. Stapleton got to him along the boards. Newman rings it around, held in by Fedorov to Lidstrom. Tees it up, fires, and deflected up off the glass. Now Yzerman gave it to Fedorov. Sergei Fedorov shoots one. He ripped it wide of the near post. Then Coffey held it in. He advanced it toward the net. That didn't get through. Fedorov along the boards to the corner, and Cicerelli. Manson with a big hit on him. Well, they battle for it. Nobody knows where the puck is, so the whistle is gone. And Rob Schick, I think, blew the whistle. Mickey, it appeared he thought that was still in the skates of the 4 players along the end board.
Well, sometimes believe it or not, the puck could find its way up the leg of a hockey player's pants and get lost. And Cicerelli went in and took the bump from the Winnipeg defenseman. This shot almost got Tino right in that broken nose. The little son of a gun just keeps going back to the front of the net. He is fearless. It was Lidstrom. He was off balance. That was the problem, and it hit a stick of Darren Shannon. Dino was really complaining about something that happened after that shot. He got clipped by somebody, I think, along the far boards.
Nick, I think he also was complaining about a Winnipeg change. He thought there were too many men on the ice. And it did seem that the Jet player had come on, gotten involved in the play, and the other guy was still 8 or 10 feet away from the bench.
Yeah. Hard to believe. I mean, you're playing with a broken nose. He goes into the corner, takes the checks. I mean, it's got to be sore just taking checks. Here he sacrificed his body. He knows Big Manson's coming. And he throws that little body of his in the way to try to throw a check on the guy delivering the check. And a lot of times he surprises people, even bigger guys, and knocks them down. But he knows how to play this game after all these years. One of the smaller guys in the game, but not afraid of the physical play.
There's a long shot that doesn't get through, and Jamnoff hammers it out to center ice. Kachuk, a good hit on Fetisov with half a minute left now on the Detroit power play. Konstantinov took a hit to feed Larion off. He put it to Fedorov. Fedorov gets things set up. Sergei Fedorov moves in. He's looking for his first goal of the series. He does have 6 helpers to lead the Detroit scoring list. Now Fetisov to Larion, up to Fedorov. He whipped and they score! What a good break for Kozlov. That pass was going to, or the attempted shot was missed and went right to Kozlov, and bang, it's 2-0.
Now Mike Eastwood does pay the ultimate price, and a bad penalty. That's the last thing the Winnipeg Jets can afford to do against a hockey club that can put the puck in the net like the Detroit Red Wings. And indeed, the Red Wings cash in on it, and Kozlov gets his 2nd of the game, 3rd of the series, and a 2-0 Detroit lead. Here's Kozlov. Look at him just backing up out of here. He gets back out of the way. Fedorov's trying to drill it here, but it just trickled right to Kozlov, and he just gave a little flip shot. He had Habibulin down and out and could not move once he had made his direction known. There was the miss that went off Manson's skate right to number 13. No mistake by Kozlov. Again, the Jets hurt themselves with an unnecessary rough penalty to go shorthanded, Pat.
And now they're in a 2-0 hole. McCarty sending it in. McIver back. Gave it to Stapleton. He took a hit but fed Manson. Dave Manson chips it in. Barry's back for it. Meanwhile, a good hit delivered to Airy, but McCarty comes out for the Red Wings. He was stopped at center. Now Cicerelli lost the handle of Jim McKenzie, who makes his first appearance of the series. And he flipped it ahead, but Coffey got it to the Winnipeg line. Volchek for Kachuk into the Detroit zone. Around the check, he cuts right in there. Shoots, and a save by Vernon. Mike Vernon has not been tested often here in the first period, but he's made a couple of dandy stops. And Detroit still has a 2-goal lead. Safe sign. He's going to go to the replay for sure. Well, that puck was up in the air and swatted in by a Jet player. It
looked like it was a high stick from up here, but we know one thing in this business: you never know. That you go to this replay, because up here you get a bit of a different angle. Let's see if we can figure it out before they do upstairs in the replay booth. Right off the face-off, Kachuk is the guy, number 7 right there. It's going to be the guy that knocks the puck down. It's turned over right there behind the net. There it is. Can't exactly see where he's making contact. The crossbar is.
Oh, no goal.
I don't think so. I think he caught it about a foot above the bar. But right at bar level is not shoulder anymore, but crossbar level is the criteria. And indeed, they've ruled no goal. It looked like he got that thing about a foot above the bar. Again, from behind, a higher angle up here. There, he's way up. Yeah, he's over his head, so no question about it.
And Rob Schick was on it. He indicated no goal on the ice, and then it was up to the replay official to overrule that if he saw fit, and obviously he should not and did not overrule it. It's still 2-0 Detroit. Lidstrom. That's help from Ramsey. Long feet up the middle, broken up by Tverdovsky, but carrying on is Lidstrom. And then Cicerelli didn't know the pass was coming. Here's a steal by Primo. Primo moves in there for Yzerman, and then he couldn't quite corral it. Back of the goal goes Primo. Primo center, Yzerman right in, he scores! Steve Yzerman left all alone in the goal mouth. Primo found him and bang, the Red Wing captain makes it 3-zip. And this plays a little bit quieter than it was a few minutes ago.
Well, you know, after what happened Friday night when that man stopped 51 of 52 shots, the Red Wings got to be feeling, thank goodness, that we finally got something to go on this guy. The first problem that the Jets had here, Pat, is they fell down. I think it was Muni over on the far side. That created the turnover to Primo and Yzerman, and then the puck gets wheeled behind the net. Here comes number 19. Primo just a little backhand flip, and Steve Yzerman, one of the other things they talked about, getting the puck up on Hobby Bullen, because they've only scored coming into this game 4 goals of their 16 were on the ice. Or 4 of the rather of the 16 were upstairs.
Steve Yzerman scores his 33rd career playoff goal in his 81st postseason game. And the Red Wings with a commanding 3-goal lead here in late moments of the first period. Now Konstantinov up the middle for Larionov. Good backhand pass on the money to Kozlov. Steps over the line. Knocked down. Puck rolled loose. Fedorov nearly got to it. Instead, Zhamnov did that. He coughed it up. Here's Kozlov for Larionov. And he was checked nicely by Zhamnov. Alexei Zhamnov able to send it back into the Red Wing zone. Yaroslav Kozlov. Able to push it out to center. Then Maltby turns back with it. Shane Doan to the corner. Sends it to the near side. McIver. Able to jam it loose. And Doan holding it in. His long shot. Hit a leg deflecting wide. Eastwood. Against Bergevin back of the net. Now Shannon came out of there with it. Shannon centered one. Bouncing puck just away from McIver. And it winds up back in the Winnipeg zone. 2 minutes left in the opening period, and a 3-0 Detroit lead. All Coffey. Able to bounce it to center. Going to be a 2-line pass. It is touched by a Red Wing player, but instead of Jet touched it first, then Doan delivered a pretty good hit to Johnson from behind. Now McIver gets over the line around a check. They had it stripped away. We're going to have penalties coming up here. There was a scrum in front of the bench areas. Detroit's Johnson, Winnipeg's Kilger, given coincidental minors. So we go 4 skaters aside now. And Zhamnov. That is pass picked off. Here comes Yzerman. Stevie Wonder over the line. Center one. He's just Coffey unable to corral it as he was cutting to the net. The puck still wound up in the goal crease, and Hobby Bullen stuffed it there.
A lot more dangerous than the fans here realize. That really was a 3-on-2, and while Coffey's steaming up late as he likes to do with a great speed from the defensive position, just missed getting a good scoring chance. I think he got a little piece of it, but it trickled harmlessly into Hobby Bullen's left pad. Coffey's a great reader, isn't he, Pat? Got to read the play, when to go up, when not to. Sure, you're going to make some bad reads. It's a game of mistakes, but more times than not, Paul Coffey knows exactly when to head up ice, baby.
Even when he makes a mistake, he's so fast, he can get back and cover it up.
That's right.
What a beautiful skater. Here's Lidstrom. Big save by Hobby Bullen with a shoulder. Now a lead pass for Kachuk. Just bounced over his stick at center. Who's there? Coffey to pick it off. All Coffey 3-on-3 the other way. And offside is the call.
See there, Lidstrom also tried to go high on Hobby Bullen, Pat, and he got that one. It's obvious the Red Wings feel what I was trying to say there before, and I had it in all kinds of directions, is the Red Wings have only been able to score 4 goals of their 16 on the ice. Hobby Bullen is excellent, taking away the bottom. So they've got to try to get the puck up, and you can see it's obvious that's what they're trying to do today.
Coming up during the first intermission, James Brown and Dave Maloney bring you all the scores and highlights from today's Stanley Cup playoff action. Also, we'll have a look back at one of the greatest playoff games in Stanley Cup history. Wednesday night's grueling 4-overtime battle between the Penguins and the Caps. Don't miss all that and more from our Hollywood studio coming up in the first intermission, which is 64 seconds on the clock away from happening. Konstantinov, who is the best plus-minus rated player in the NHL at a +60 this season. And they get the Red Wings underway. Folks moving around. He still can't find a target. Now has room to Fedorov out to center. Sergei Fedorov fires along when he fluttered it wide. Fedorov chasing it down in the corner. Gets help from Larionov. Newman took a hack at him. Held in by Fedorov. Centered one. It's picked off. And the Jets start back. Newman has no help as the Jets are changing players. Had to just flip it in with 20 seconds left in the period. Larionov slowly to center. Doesn't have a lot of help now. It comes in the form of Tanner who shoots it. A blocker save made by Hobby Bullen. Rebound to the Jets mounts, and the clock winds down, and he'll run out of time as the first period comes to an end. Hometown team, but as that first period went along, the Red Wing attack shot 3 silencers into the crowd. Let's see what happens here in the second. We go 4 skaters aside for the next 10 seconds or so. That's the time left on some coincidental penalties. Konstantinov for the Red Wings. Goes rink wide, but he missed Fedorov with a pass, and Newman kicks at it, couldn't get it out. Fedorov was checked in the corner, and Jamnov picked up. Long feed to Kilger coming out of the penalty box. He moves in there, fires, and a save by Vernon. And it trickled past him through the goal crease, but out the other side. That's just the second shot on goal in this series for the rookie Kilger. The first one went in and was a game-winning goal. And now here's Jamnov taken down. It's going to be a penalty coming up against McCarty for Detroit. And Olczyk fires a long one. Vernon gloves it. He'll hold it. And just what the Jets would have hoped for, Mickey, a little chance for some momentum here in the opening moments of the second period.
Yeah, Darren McCarty caught Jamnov on the right foot, knocked him down. Rob Schick could see the whole play clearly and makes the call right away. There it is to the left of Hobby Bullen. And for the Winnipeg Jets, trailing 3-0 after 20 minutes. I mean, yes, there's lots of time, 40 minutes left, but when you think of the little bit of offense that they've been able to create during this whole series, that's a problem for them. So they can only hope to get the next goal in this game.
0 for 25 on the power play. Kachuk, Olczyk, and Janney are out in front of Newman and Jamnov. What would seem to be a very important power play for the home team. Here's the draw. Jamnov, a long shot is blocked by Yzerman. Newman, who is the top scoring defenseman for this club during the regular season. Able to move it out to center. Janney weaves over the line. Lost the handle. Konstantinov couldn't get it out. Janney threw it to the corner. Konstantinov there with time and room. Clearing.
Big Janney has had a tough series. Only got 3 points. And they have really shut him down as well as his teammates. I mean, he's got lots of company. Not being able to generate much momentum offensively against Detroit.
Bird trying to tip it out. It went behind the net to Coffey, who hammers it around the boards and down the length to the ice. Jamnov, a minute remaining on the Detroit penalty. Now McIver moved it to center, and Janney Gains the line, then lost it in traffic. Then it's held in by McIver. Top of the ring. Lets it go. It didn't get through. Good shot blocked by Mark Bergevin. And the Wings able to clear.
That's a good example there. The Red Wings, 4 of them, even defensively shorthanded. They converge on that puck carrier if the situation is correct. And they shut it all down. They don't even get a shot.
McIver was short of center when he chipped it in, but it hit the stick of Lidstrom. Now back of the goal, Shannon couldn't get to it. Mike Stapleton threw it in behind the goal. Shannon trying to feed Stapleton. He's checked by Larionov. Larionov jammed it loose, taken by Fedorov. He moved it to Lidstrom. Lidstrom to center to Fedorov, put it over the line to Larionov, far side. He stops, and then his drop pass picked off by Stapleton. Well, the Detroit penalty over, and both teams were at full strength, and that Winnipeg power play snuffed out without many threats at all. Oleg Tverdovsky motors to center. And fires a long one, deflected way over the glass and into the crowd. It's early in the second period, and the Red Wings still lead it 3-0. And it's very close to happening, possibly today. The Rangers have a big lead over Montreal, and the Jets are trailing by 3 goals here. There you see the other scores. Montreal scored against it. Now they're down just by 2 goals to the Rangers. Meanwhile, Norm McIver chips it into the Red Wing zone. Vernon out to play it up the boards. And it deflects to center. Eastwood shovels it back in there. Keith Primo able to nearly avoid a hit, but Kachuk got a piece of him. And then the Wings Coffey comes carrying it over the Winnipeg line. Tried to center one, was behind Draper though. And Kachuk for the Jets. Leaps it back to the Detroit line. McCarty turns it in. And the crowd trying to come to life once again here in the Winnipeg Arena, with their home team spurred on. And fell away in the corner. McIver trying to get a whistle, and he succeeds. Right now, let's go to James Brown in our Hollywood studio for this NHL Pizza Hut game break. Mickey, as looking at the series so far in the opening round, home ice is a guarantee of nothing.
Yeah.
So far, the home team's record coming into the action today, 22 wins, 20 losses.
Well, there isn't any question the intensity is picked up in the playoffs. The effort level is unbelievable.
And Tverdovsky runs it in behind the Red Wing goal. Vernon put it off the glass to Airy, who chipped at it, couldn't get it out. Now has a second chance. And got it to center where McCarthy goes at the length of the ice. Going to be icing here against the Red Wings.
Home ice is nice, Pat, but tell you what, these guys are they talk about hockey and all of professional sport being one of the most unique experiences, the Stanley Cup playoffs, and I think that's one of the reasons why. It just doesn't seem to matter. The level gets picked up such a great degree from the regular season, the intensity, and everything's under the microscope, every little play, and effort-wise, there's nothing left behind.
Does the fact that so many of these arenas, especially a lot of the newer places now, they're so similar, does that have any impact? You know, you don't have
I think it does.
The nuances of the old Chicago Stadium or the old Olympia or the old Boston Garden.
Oh, for one thing, right off the bat, they're not as intimidating anywhere near. I mean, there wasn't a more intimidating place than that old Chicago Stadium. People right on top of you there. It's amazing.
There's the draw now. Kozlov gave it to Larionov. To Fetisov, who left it for Igor Larionov. He was stopped at the line. And now Finley starts the Jets back to Numminen. His pass deflected away from Fraser, who was busting up the middle of the ice. And we're going to have a penalty coming up here.
To Detroit, I believe. Or is it Winnipeg? I'm not sure. You can't tell by the actions of Rob Schick. Jamnov's having words. Of course, he's a countryman of the Russian Five, and they're very friendly normally off the ice, but no friends when the game starts. And Jamnov's going to go. Both doors are open, it looks like. And Larionov. Interesting pair to be in the box. Larionov rarely takes penalties. Jamnov's pretty upset about having to be over there in the bin. There's a little hook right in the middle of your screen. Right there. There's Jamnov, and he gets slightly hooked down by Larionov. He hooks him in the hip, on the right hip. Down he goes. And the Jets fans, of course, booing because they're wondering why is Jamnov in the penalty box.
Well, the call on him, Mickey, is unsportsmanlike conduct.
For Jamnov.
Yes, he must have said something, I'd imagine. I didn't see that he did anything that might warrant that penalty to be called, but we'll go 4 skaters aside once again. Well, the Jets looked as if they might have a power play chance.
See that little lonely guy sitting behind Jamnov? That's Chris Osgood. Not enough room on the benches here. The spare goalie has to sit over by himself by that door where the team comes off and watch the game from there.
Abby Bullen rolls it to Olczyk. Needs some help in the corner. Then it's dug out of there by Yzerman. He walks to the slot center. Coffey, a shot and a save by Abby Bullen. Rebound Newman. Tefo Newman has room to the Red Wing line. And to hold up, Olczyk would have been well offside.
And he goes to the bench thinking, what a waste of energy. You got to get the puck up. Headman the puck.
Lidstrom's pass deflects off of Kozlov to Abby Bullen. And he will decide to play it. Here comes McIver. Emerson puck in the neutral zone. Around by Fetisov. Roll that 2-on-1. Kozlov has Konstantinov with him, but a bad pass will cost the Red Wings a scoring chance. And now here comes Manson for Winnipeg. His pass deflects into the Red Wing zone. 40 seconds left on the coincidental minors. And Kozlov moves 2-on-2 with Fedorov. Gave it to Sergei to the line. His pass to the feet of McIver rolls to the net, and Abby Bullen. But he always, here's Bergevin, a long shot. Abby Bullen stopped it. Loose puck to Kachuk. Taverdowski up to the line, was stopped there, and the Red Wings Mark Bergevin had his pass picked off. Here's the counter for Janney, cutting in there. Center Bergevin broke up the play, and Coffey on the counter ahead for Johnson. Motoring in over the hole. It's ruled to be an offside pass, and the whistle sounds. 7 minutes gone by in the second period. And there's a guy in his 11th year, Mickey Mark Bergevin. Knowing who your competition is, we're going to have a penalty coming up here against Detroit. It looks like just on the face-off, and it may be a major. Rob Schick is going to check whether the player's been cut. Kilger.
Yeah. Bergevin, or is he going? No, Bergevin's going to go out to the Detroit dressing room for some repairs, it looks like. And Mike Ramsey goes to the penalty box for a high sticking penalty.
I just started to say about Bergevin on that play, knowing your competition. Craig Janney's going to pass the puck 90% of the time. He's very reluctant to shoot. Bergevin sensed that, got in the passing lane, made a great play.
Well, Jets are yet to have a quality chance in this period. There in the middle of your screen, you see the high stick right there with Kilger coming to the net. He got clipped by the stick of the veteran Ramsey, and the Jets have the power play here. 12:38 left, second period, and it remains 3-0 Red Wings.
And again, the Jet power play has a chance to put some life into this home team. The fans are alive. They need a little spark on that bench, though, and the Jet power play has been ineffective would be a nice way to say it so far today.
Last power play here in this game, they did not get a shot on goal, Pat. You try to pressure the puck like that, even shorthanded.
McIver looks for Kachuk. Well covered, but he advanced it in there, and it's chased down by Fedorov. He's got time and cleared it to center. Two-line pass. Larionov just a foot or so across the checkered red line before he received it. And the two-line offside pass stops the play, and a chagrined Scotty Bowman. He doesn't like to see that.
Scotty Bowman looking to be the first coach to coach a Stanley Cup team with 3 different teams.
Face off in the Detroit zone. And Larionov chasing it down, able to swat it to center. Numanen hammers it back in. Old check. Bounce one to the line. McIver sends it in behind Kachuk. He couldn't field the bouncing puck. It came loose to Fedorov, and then he failed to get it out. Old check. Took a bump. It came free to Fedorov. Couldn't get it past McIver. For Numanen. Sends it around the boards. Kachuk chasing it down. Boy, the Wings forcing the Jets to the perimeter. Aggressively chasing the puck. Now 2 Jets let the puck roll loose. Fedorov's going to beat everybody to it. Jammed off, and Numanen said, I got it, you got it, and see you later. 45 seconds left in the Jet power play. Old check on the right side. A drop pass for Tavarowski. Fires right on. Vernon fought it off. Rebound Yzerman. Hey, clears it the length. Good stop there by Mike Vernon. Looked like Mickey. Really, he fought it off, but got the right arm up.
Tavarowski with that good speed and went right to the net and wound up and ripped it. And he knows he's going to get closed in on very quickly.
Korolev to Janney. His drop pass is read perfectly by Erie. Down the ice it goes. Now Coffey steals one. He shoots it into the Jet zone. Tavarowski up the middle. Here's Janney with room. Has Korolev with him. Tried to center. Picked off. Called Coffey. Tried to clear. Couldn't get it out. Meanwhile, the Detroit penalty over. Both teams are at full strength. Back to the goal. Stapleton center. Graham blocked the feed with a goal stick. And it's cleared back into Winnipeg ice. Dave Manson. Shot, long shot from center ice in the first period, hit the inside of the goalpost and came out. That could have maybe changed the situation in this game. But the puck didn't go in, and now it's in the Detroit zone. They wrestle along the boards, and Konstantinov comes away with it and ran into Doan behind the net. It's held in. Eastwood to the corner for Shannon. Works against Draper. And Chris Draper won the puck and sweeps it back into the Winnipeg zone. And McIver gets back to touch up for the icing call. We're halfway through the second. Detroit still leading 3-0. 2 Winnipeg power plays have gone nowhere. A big chance to, couple of chances to get back in the game, squandered by the Jets. Meanwhile, Mickey Bergevin, who you mentioned left the ice, has returned. That was an equipment foul. We're going to have a penalty now. Big collision in the corner between McKenzie and Ciccarelli. McKenzie's going to get the call. And now as the Jets control, the whistle sounds, and Jim McKenzie trying to stir it up. This seems to have been a series-long problem for the Winnipeg Jets, Mickey. They're trying to be aggressive, but they're getting carried away.
Well, it's one thing to try to finish your checks. A coach likes that, but you can't go out of your way to mug people, hog tie them, pull them down, and interfere with them when they're not involved with the puck in the play. I mean, that's roller derby, not hockey, and that's one of the things that the mandate and the referees was set out to stop. And Big Jim McKenzie made it very easy for Rob Schick to make this call.
Starting to say, though, that Bergevin had returned to the ice after leaving for a slight equipment problem. Now Fetisov a moment ago, when we were away for a second, had to leave. he seemed to be moving well. I have to guess that was an equipment situation as well, so he probably won't be gone for too long. But there's a kid, Mark Bergevin, his 11th year in the NHL, opened his career with the Chicago Blackhawks. A very solid, likable guy. He's a good guy to have in a club. He's lasted a long time in this league. Here's Lidstrom, a long shot. Good save by Happy Bullock. And now the Jets look to gain control. Newman does. And cleared it to the Red Wing line.
Bergevin's had a very good year, Pat. Played with Paul Coffey a lot this season. Very solid defensively. Doesn't hurt you much at all. And the odd time will chip in with a goal here and there.
Solid guy. Doesn't shy away from the rough stuff. I mean, he can deliver a hit and take a hit. And is willing to take a hit to make a play.
And a tremendous guy in the dressing room, as you know.
Yes, sir.
Very humorous guy.
Here comes Primo. Got it over the line for Cicerelli on the right side. Dropped it back to Lidstrom. Sweeps it to Coffey. Trying to bank it to the front of the net, but got a bad hop off the end boards. And Jamnoff tried to clear it. That hit a Red Wing player on the bench. There you saw Paul Coffey. Mickey did. I don't know if I called that right. It seemed to me, though, he didn't have a shooting angle to get the puck directly to the net. He looked like he tried to intentionally shoot it wide and bank it toward the slot.
Well, Paul Coffey knows that you must get it by the guy that's coming to check you immediately. If you don't get it by him, you don't have a chance. And a lot of times you're going to give up a scoring chance if you hit him. So when you see that, and again, that's the ability to read a play that in front of you. When you see that, you've got to miss the guy in front, even if you miss the net. You hope. Now there's Coffey just going wide. He saw the two Red Wings down in deep. It was Yzerman and Primo there. And he's hoping for a redirection in front or a bank off the backboards. But he knows enough not to drill it into that front forechecker in the penalty kill.
The 6th all-time point man in Stanley Cup playoff history. 177 points to go with those 56 goals. You just saw. Here's the draw. And Fedorov lines it around the boards. A minute remaining in the Winnipeg penalty. Muni for Manson. He goes up the middle to clear it.
Coffey didn't get 56 goals, Pat, by drilling him into the front forechecker. he knows better than anybody how to go to the net, boy, in a lot of situations.
Kozlov. To chip it into the corner. Manson there, and look where Larionov is. He was along the boards when Manson still hadn't had the puck yet.
Think he studies the game, the film.
And now the net behind Vernon is knocked off, and the whistle sounds.
That's exactly what Igor Larionov can bring to you, boy. Since the trade earlier this year, and Larionov came to Detroit, he has been unbelievable.
That was Dave Manson had not yet reached the puck in the near corner, and Larionov went right to the boards in the far corner, just knowing that's where the puck was going to go.
Very, very much a thinking hockey player, Igor Larionov. And there goes Manson back to make the play. See, he's really didn't disguise what he was going to do, but there's Larionov over here. He went right over there as soon as he saw what was happening. Again, that's just an ability to make a read and know an opponent and try to figure out what he's going to do before he does it. And usually the better players in the league are very good at doing that kind of thing.
Few seconds left still on the Winnipeg penalty. And a long shot nearly took the head off the linesman Randy Mitton. Now Detroit's Bergevin to Airy, right wing to McCarty. He had it stripped away. And the Jet penalty over, and both teams are at full strength now. Jeff Finley got a rough ride from McCarty, who knocked him down. Now they wrestle along the boards. We're going to have a penalty coming up against the Red Wings, I believe. And as the puck is cleared to the neutral zone, Coffey has it. Whistle sounds. Winnipeg will get their third power play of the second period. They have yet to score, trailing 3-0. To make
that call, Jets back to the power play. They've only got one shot of the last two power play opportunities.
Teppo Numminen hammers it in. Janney chipped it into the corner. Kachuka's wrapped up there. Now Olczyk had it hop over his stick. At the near point, Jamnoff. A long wrist shot, didn't get through. Kicked aside by Constantino. And Chris Draper cleared.
A lot of the ability of the Red Wings to read plays defensively, Pat, in penalty killing situations is responsible. Their experience, really, for reading plays and not allowing them to happen. That's why they're the best in the league through 82 games.
Bergevin chipped to Larionov, and he clears it. And the first minute of the Jet power play gets nothing going. Newman in. Or Kachuk. Plenty of room to the Red Wing line. Got a Bergevin falling down. He also lost his stick, but still managed to poke check it before that happened. And it's cleared back into the Winnipeg zone. Igor Korolev. Gave it to Zhamnov. Zhamnov to the line. Stick handling in traffic. Peels back to the deep slot with it. Leaves it for McIver. Moves in. Fires. Deflected just wide of the near post. Now in the corner, Korolev. Put it in there deep. Took a funny hop. Staple in the puck's on the mesh in behind the net. And the whistle sounds. So we can now go to JB in our Hollywood studios for this NHL Pizza Hut game break.
The penalty to Yzerman. They don't have a shot yet.
Tverdovsky trying to hold it in, but Draper pressured it back to center ice. And now Tverdovsky. With the Red Wing penalty expiring, it's cleared to center ice. Shane Doan, a bouncing puck. He sweeps it in there. Taken by Mike Ramsey. Got it to Taylor. His pass deflects in the neutral area. Now captured by Taylor. Pushes it into the Winnipeg zone. Oleg Tverdovsky. Trying to clear it, failed to get it out. Now Muni picks it up. Tverdovsky for Doan. He couldn't handle the bouncing puck. And the Jets have to chase back again. Well, again, they try to get out of their own end, and finally, it is cleared to center where Muni chips it in. He was short of center ice when he did that, and it's going to be ruled icing against Winnipeg. Down to 4 minutes left in the second period. Dave Manson able to clear it to the neutral zone. Squirts loose to Primo, back in over the line, but his pass was behind Draper. Well, they wrestle into the corner. It squirts loose to McKenzie. He bounced it to Olchek. In on Coffey. And Olchek spins, dropped to the trailing Kachuk, bouncing puck. He never could get control of it. Now Manson, a long wrist shot deflecting over the glass and into the crowd. This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Hockey League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this telecast, including the imposition of a charge for viewing the telecast without the express written consent of the National Hockey League, you can't do it.
Mike Vernon right away to Rob Schick. That should be outside because the Jets deflected it up and over. Big Dave Manson had a good argument about it, and he's still screaming at the linesman from the Winnipeg bench. You're not going to win it. Faceoff comes outside.
Tisov has returned after leaving for what seemed to be an equipment problem, missing a shift or two. And now Fedorov has it, cranks it in there. Chasing it down himself in the corner. Fedorov first on it. Back to the line for Tisov. A one-timer hit the backside of Newmanen. And now taken by Kozlov. For Fedorov, he shoots. Javi Bulin stopped it. Rebound. Bouncing around to Zhamnov. Zhamnov fires it around the boards. Back into the Detroit zone.
Catcher almost playing that like they were short-handed pitchers, standing around watching the Red Wings move the puck. Because the Russian Five can do that to lots of people, but you can't stand them watching, boys. You better get your feet moving.
Detroit's Igor Larionov to Vyacheslav Fetisov. Now looking for McCarty, who has the line with a long wrist shot. And a save by Javi Bulin. Just got a piece with a glove. There's a 1-on-2, Mickey, and the Jet defense is backing right in, allowing a shot. Here's Yzerman behind the net. Muni able to strip it away. Hit it to center. Janney moved it to Olchek. He dumps it in. Find Swings it around the glass. And they wrestle for it along the boards, and Olczyk's going to get a penalty, I think.
He is.
And as the Jets control, the whistle sounds.
Eddie Olczyk did ease up some on Mike Ramsey, but he still knocked him forward. And Rob Schick makes the call here from checking from behind. It could be a boarding, roughing, whatever. And that, of course, is a play that we'd like to see completely out of the game of hockey. It's a totally unnecessary play, but Olczyk, here he comes in on 15. He bumps him enough to bump him forward. He didn't crash into him, but you don't need to hurt a guy when he can't see you coming, and you end up with a broken neck or something on that dasher board. You know,
it's that never land. A couple of feet from the boards is the most dangerous area, obviously, and that's what they've tried to clamp down on the last couple of years.
You know what they try to do with the kids is teach them, the young hockey players, young boys and girls, if you can see the number on the back of the opposing guy's jersey, then don't hit him when he's near those boards like that. It's unnecessary, and people get hurt that way. Now the Jets will go into a shorthanded situation again. The last thing they need, trailing 3-0, minute 48 to go, second period. And still they've been able, Pat, to generate only 4 shots on goal in the second period. Total of 9 altogether.
All Coffey fires it in. Ciccarelli battling along the board. Shamnoff wrestling with him. It squirts loose. Yzerman able to gain control. Now Lidstrom at the point takes a look, decides not to shoot it. Put it to Primo. Rolling it in behind. Ciccarelli took a bump there, stolen by Newman, and he couldn't get it out. Here's Primo's pass, but it just missed, connecting with Yzerman. Yzerman and Korolev do battle in the corner. Squirts loose to Shamnoff. As we go to the final minute of the second period. Here's Lidstrom for Detroit. David Coffey, who carries it quickly to the line, stopping and brings it around. Kozlov, that's spun along the end boards. Now Fedorov has it. His pass deflecting, and it's held into Larionov, and now we have Fedorov is shaken up. Fedorov is down. The play is continuing, and now the whistle sounds from Rob Schick, and Sergei Fedorov is down.
Well, Dave Manson can only hope that nobody saw this. He gave Fedorov a two-hander with the heel of the stick across the back of the leg. There it is right there. Number 4 and 91. Cut him just below the knee, it looked like. Here comes Manson right here. Boom. And I don't think Rob Schick saw it.
Mickey, that might have been the type of thing that happened to the Rangers' Sergei Nemchinov. He had an injury I've never heard of before. He had a calf muscle that basically exploded. His nerves and his muscle were showing through. It took 7 stitches to close the wound, but there was never a cut in his hockey sock or his inner sock. There was no cut, and his muscle just somehow came apart, and he's missed a few games. He is playing today for the Rangers, but maybe it was a similar type thing that happened to him, but nobody could figure out how the muscle would be cut open like that, the calf muscle, without the hockey sock being cut. And now Ciccarelli talking to Manson about what you saw.
Yeah. And hockey players don't miss a whole lot. They know pretty much what goes on, and Manson took the heel of that stick, which can do the damage, and turned it over. And a lot of times you get hit in the back of the knee, the back of the leg like that, and everything just goes numb.
Well, it has been suggested that several Soviet players around the league, and of course the Red Wings have quite a few, are pretty good with the stick themselves. And now Fedorov is going to need some help to get to the Detroit dressing room. Coming up during the second intermission, James Brown and Dave Maloney will bring all the scores and highlights to you from today's Stanley Cup playoff action. Also, don't miss Fox Sports Choice Cuts, which features the best plays and the hottest players from this year's Stanley Cup playoffs so far. All that and more coming up from our Hollywood studio during the second intermission.
Primo's out on the ice now talking to Manson. You see Fedorov being helped off, and of course the point, Pat, is that it's one thing to get high sticked or clipped or whatever, but when players deliberately take the stick and try to hurt somebody, and that's what they're giving it to Manson about. That's a different story. You don't like to see that from anybody.
So it went indeed undetected, and the Red Wings will have a one-man advantage for 45 more seconds as the draw is taken by Yzerman.
No!
Fires it around the boards, and Cicerelli handed loose to Primo. Moves in behind the net. He's hog-tied there by Tverdovsky, who won the puck. Tverdovsky jammed it loose to Kachuk, and he bounced it back into the Red Wing zone. In over the line, racing in around Newman, and centered one. Here's a shot, and a save by Khabibulin as the second period comes to an end. We have completed 40 minutes here in Game 6. The Red Wings have a commanding 3-0 lead at the end of 2. Tverdovsky chasing it down and fires it along the boards. Sergei Fedorov is on the bench for Detroit. We saw you, or showed you, that he left late in the second period, but he has returned. And now, as the whistle has sounded, the penalty is over, and both teams are at full strength. Fedorov, we mentioned earlier, Mickey, without a goal so far in the series, but he assisted on the game-winning goal in the first 2 games of this series, and he's got 7 helpers to this point. Here's the draw taken by Janney. His pass deflects, and the Jets will have to chase back. Craig Muni. Here's it for Tverdovsky, and now the crowd starting to come to life once again. This is the way they were in the first period, but the Wings silenced them with 3 first-period goals that they have made stand up to this point in the game. Muni pinching into the corner. Well covered there by McCarty. Now Janney comes out of there with it, but his pass hit a skate. Now Kachuk scooped it in behind the goal. Janney and Olczyk are both there. Then a centering attempt deflected away from Olczyk. And McCarty picks it up for the Wings and flies it back into the Winnipeg zone. Muni ahead for Olczyk. He got knocked down as he shot it in by Konstantinov, who took the feed from under him. Meanwhile, Fetisov to Fedorov. He was checked at center ice. He has to send it in. And if Khabibulin let that go, would have been icing. He didn't know it. He played it, so the play continues. And the Jets able to clear it to center. Larionov to Konstantinov. He fires a long one. Khabibulin gloves it. And he's going to hang on long enough for a whistle.
Khabibulin did a lot of that on Friday night, and just trying to shut it all down and not allow the Red Wings to continue their offensive pressure. He said, I'll take the faceoffs, but the Red Wings have dominated in that department as well.
Nikolai Khabibulin, you mentioned he got interested in the goaltending position very early. At the age of 14, read a book about the legendary Vladislav Tretiak, who's now the goaltending coach for the Chicago Blackhawks. He is really Ed Belfour's goaltending guru, and I don't think it's a coincidence that Jeff Hackett had his best year in the NHL, having been helped by Tretiak as well. What a wonderful goal. Did you ever play against him?
Yes, I did. In Canada 72, the original series.
Did you ever score on him?
No, sir. I didn't score. Tried to take his head off a couple of times, but
what a terrific guy he is.
Yeah, he was.
He's a great goaltender, obviously, and now lending his expertise to the Blackhawks and doing it quite nicely. Here's Fetisov, whose pass deflects at center. And now Numanen goes rink wide to a man who was going off for a change. Korlev was going to the bench, and that's who the receiver was supposed to be. Now McIver. Not a to Manson. Rink wide for Eastwood over the line. Centered it. Bouncing puck just eludes the Jet player. Ian Fraser in the deep slot. Now Manson. Out of to McIver. And again to Manson. He has some room to the Red Wing line. Fires and a save by Vernon. And the rebound cleared up over the glass and into the crowd. You know, we talked about the great performance in Game 5 of Habby Bullen. A lot of people will tell you just as tough to stand there at the other end, Mick, without a lot of action and maintain your concentration.
It sure is. And both Mike Vernon and Chris Osgood. Osgood's played all 3 games at home. Vernon's played 3 now on the road. They both had to go through that. Not having a lot of shots, that is. There's another 65-footer. But yeah, you sit there for the longest time. You're cold. You got to try to talk to yourself as your goaltender, fool yourself, stay in the game. Not hard. It's not hard to stay in the game when it's a playoff game, but you get cold. You're not having a.
Was Chris Osgood acting up in class? How come he's sitting in jug? Kachuk got taken down as he tried to get to that rebound, but Coffey managed to wrap him up beautifully.
He and Ian Vernon have handled this rotation home and road beautifully. They're having more fun than anybody over the darn thing.
There really do seem to have been a couple who have been able to pull for one another. You don't always find that. Here's a goal ball scramble. Loose puck still. Wings glowing out of the crease. And here comes Detroit. Cicerelli has a rushing opportunity. Carries it. Scores. He fired it wide, going high on the short side.
That's out of play. Nobody knows it. They tried to make it a 2 and a 3-on-1, but they couldn't catch up, and Diener ripped it into the stands.
Now the draw. Taken by Johnson. In on Tamardowski, who rubbed him off nicely on the end boards. And now Mike Stapleton sends Kachuk to center. Keith Kachuk racing to the line, trying to split the defense. He did. He rolled a weak shot wide, though. He was taken to the deck. Now Stapleton centered. It's picked off by Lidstrom. And he put it up into the crowd. Oh, Kachuk just gave Vernon a little shot to the jaw.
Vernon was jawing at him and giving him some major chin music there, and Kachuk just gave him a little love tap on the face mask. Vernon tried to get him upset and get him off his game even more, but
Vernon looks like he's saying, come on, big boy, I'm going to be here all day.
Of course, those goalies got all that help and that equipment, Pat. You can't hurt them anymore.
Face-off will be to the left of Vernon, who says this is the first time, or at least in the games in Detroit, it's the first time he's been healthy in the playoffs and not played for whatever team he's been with. As you said, he seems to, and Osgood as well, seems to really handle the situation marvelously.
Yeah, when I started in '67, the goalies didn't wear masks, and it almost seems like, how could they even do that? But none of them had them then. Only got was a few stitches here and there.
Barry able to clear the zone. And the Jets put it back in there. Stapleton trying to move in on Coffey, and everybody wraps up in the corner.
You know, the thing is, Pat, though, today, in all seriousness, I don't know what they're feeding these kids today, but they're so much bigger and stronger and faster, and not just maybe 1-2 guys on a team in the old days could really shoot the puck. Today, most of your guys can really rip it. And now they're with these competitions, they're shooting the puck, 90 to 110 miles an hour, and boy, it's unbelievable.
That's why, talk about the records in all of sports, and to me, there is one record that will never be broken, and that is Glenn Hall playing every minute of every game for 502 in a row, and that without a mask.
Yeah.
It was finally a back problem that sidelined him. Unbelievable.
He was an acrobatic goaltender, wasn't he? Still in the business today with.
You've never met a nicer guy either. Here come the Wings. Larionov, a shot, a good save by Habby Bullen. Rebound to Zemna. Demnoff gets the line. Brings it around the boards. Warlock and a jam it free.
That's out of play.
And the puck deflects into the crowd.
Detroit's just going to keep this thing right down to a dull roar here with a 3-0 lead. There's your scores out of town. Two other games today. And that game at Montreal. Rangers looking to wrap it up after losing the first 2 games of the series at home. And the same thing with Washington-Pittsburgh, although Pittsburgh had that big overtime win the other night with Lemieux ejected after the second period, and they went into 4 overtimes. 3rd longest game in the history of NHL playoff play. And they're looking to wrap it up at Washington today to move on to round 2.
Keith Primo and Mike Eastwood will get ready for the draw. And here is the face-off. Back of the goal. Doan jammed it loose. Shannon tried to make a return pass. It did connect, and Draper bounced it to center. Now Craig Muni. And then the Wings able to steal a pass. Ciccarelli shooting it in. Muni for Shannon. The puck at his feet, standing still. Now gets a little help. And Tverdovsky able to get it to center where Olczyk sweeps it in there. Ed Olczyk. Now the center one. It hits some traffic. Bounce to Airy. He feeds Ciccarelli. Ciccarelli waiting for a little help, but his teammates were changing, so he just puts it in and gets off. And Norm McIver able to swat it to center. Now McIver wants it again. 5.5 gone in the 3rd. 3-0 Detroit. All the scoring came in the first period. 2 goals for Kozlov, the other for Yzerman for the Red Wings. Dave Manson. They're starting the Jets away. Got it to Janney. He scoops it in there. Barry tied up along the end boards. It came loose to Yzerman, and he tapped it back into the neutral zone. Here's Ed Olczyk. Pass deflects at center. Now it's going to be a hand pass ruled as Konstantinov gloved it forward. Next touch by his teammate Johnson.
Now, Pat, Detroit plays a defensive system called the left wing lock, and this might be considered a double left wing lock, if you will. Jets are coming up, and look at this. Here's your forwards and back, and your defense back at center ice right there. Look at the 3 of them all lined up across, and here comes the right winger back here to support. All you can do there is dump the puck in and go and get it. It's very frustrating to play against that kind of stuff because you just cannot carry the puck in, and the more you try, the more frustrated you get. And that's the way Detroit executed that stuff pretty well flawlessly all year long, shutting down the opposition's scoring chances, shots on goal, and goals.
And how about that? And how about that number? Shots on goal so far in the series, nearly double.
He came in here exactly doubled, 188 to 94.
The Sverdlovsk stopper. Nikolai Habibulin from Sverdlovsk, which is a 2-hour plane ride from Moscow in the Soviet Union. Here's a steal and a shot on. Chad Kilger ripped it wide. Rebound Tverdovsky. Now into the corner it goes. McKenzie out there. Scooped it into the near corner, and Holtby sends it up the boards. Not out. Muni held it in. Now the Wings will safely clear it back the other way. Tverdovsky to Stapleton. Hammers it in there. Taylor, playing in just his 12th career playoff game, got rubbed off in the corner. Holtby came away with it, though, and bounced it to the Winnipeg line. Oleg Tverdovsky able to chip it back into Red Wing ice. Mike Ramsey chasing it down. Gave it to Nicholas Lidstrom. Now Larionov to Fedorov. He shoots it in, hoping for Kozlov, who gets to it in the corner. And Newman got to him. And Fedorov jammed it out. Fedorov is trying to center one. Good block by Zhamnov. The race is on. Kachuk cutting in there. Centered it. It didn't get to Zhamnov. Hitting a leg instead. And the Wings look to counter. Larionov in over the Winnipeg line. Forced to turn back with it. Out to center ice. Now gave it to Kozlov, who shoots one. Happy Bullen made the save. And the rebound controlled by the home team. Zhamnov away from one checker. And it's a Newman who sends it in. Hansen goes into the corner on Coffey. Came loose to Kola. Feeding McIver right in. He shoots. He scores! Norm McIver coming on a player change. None of the Red Wings saw him. And he fired it by Vernon on the stick side. It's 3-1.
This whole thing set up, Pat, when Detroit had possession behind the net and they gave it up, and I think it was Paul Coffey got blocked off from going to get it. Dave Manchin pinched right there, took Coffey out of the play. That allowed McIver to jump into the hole, take the pass, and look at that spot right above Vernon's blocker, right in the top corner. Perfectly placed by the defenseman McIver for the Jets' first goal on their 12th shot. And a 3-1 hockey game.
And they've been waiting for this for a couple hours here in the Winnipeg Arena.
McIver acts like a forward when he's up there. He's a guy they used to quarterback the power play a lot. A good set of hands on him, and he knows what to do with it when he gets in that area. The Red Wings now will be sitting over there, Pat, saying, all right, we know that these guys, they've got very little left to try to grab onto, but this is what they've got, and they're going to come at us now with everything but the kitchen sink. Now that they've got that goal and try to keep the momentum going, so you can bet they'll be attempting to completely shut this thing down.
It has seemed to me, Mickey, as if the Red Wings in the second period and here so far in the third have been content to try to stay at 3 goals and just look after their own end.
Yeah, they have, really. Exactly. They'll take it if it's there, but they don't want to gamble and give up an easy one. Now, this crowd is going to do everything they can to try to get their Jets back into this thing. 11:38 to go on the clock in the third period. And here we go.
Lidstrom to Ramsey. Now Primo is stopped by Manson at the line. McIver the other way. His pass didn't connect. Ciccarelli. Gave it to Keith Primo. Primo crisscrossing over the Jet line, trying to sweep it to the slot, but Doan in front to steal it. Shane Doan with an near side for Shannon. He couldn't get to it. Lidstrom held it in for Ciccarelli. He got bumped off the puck by Shannon. And it's cleared to center ice. Ciccarelli throws it back into the Jet zone. Shannon gave a good jolt along the boards in the process. And Dino had an answer for that as he went for a change. Now McIver. It was checked by Bergevin beautifully. And Janney is in his own end. To Tverdovsky. His pass is picked off at center. Coffey. Throws it back in. Now McCarty wrestling with Tverdovsky. Then Janney came up with it. Feeding Muni. Greg Muni dumping it in. Bob Airy couldn't get away from Olchek. Back of the net. Kachuk center. Too hot to handle. Oh, a great chance it would have been for the Jets. Janney, but he couldn't hold the hot pass. Greg Muni. hoist it to the Detroit line. We're now halfway through the third. 3-1 is the Red Wing lead. Here's Fedorov, cuts to the net, moves and shoots. He missed the far post by an inch. It's held in by Fetisov. Carrying it around the boards, Kozlov takes off from behind the net, slipped it in front. Larionov had the puck at his feet. Now Muni hacked at it and got it to center. Kachuk, he's hammered by Konstantinov. Just as the puck got there, so did Konstantinov, and he flattened Kachuk with a crunching hit. Now Kozlov to Fedorov, who shoots it in. Newman in. Up the boards for Korolev. He lost it. And the Jets have to chase back. In the near corner, Newman in. He moves it across, and Finley goes up the middle. He missed Korolev. It slides back to the Red Wing zone. Taken by Tim Taylor in the corner. He kicked it loose, Lindstrom. Lost the handle now, Ramsey. Put it to the near side. McIver held it in. Lindstrom now tries Taylor on the left side. He's got some space. And pushed it into the center ice area. Korolev will hammer it back into the Detroit zone. Eastwood hacked at a bouncing puck. Got help from Shannon along the boards. Side of it, just missing Eastwood. Comes to the near board, and Stapleton only able to get to it as the wings clear. Dave Manson. Move it to Newman. He was short of center, had to give up possession. Coffey now. This throws it back into Winnipeg ice. Wings make a wholesale change on the go. Here's a lead for Eastwood over the line. Fires, and it deflects wide off Fetisov. Into the corner it goes. Eastwood after it there against Fetisov. They wrestle in behind the net. Now Shannon. Wrapped up by Konstantinov. They hack away along the boards. Here's Shannon centering. It didn't get to Tverdovsky, rolling into the goal crease. And Vernon stops the play. And the fellas getting a little anxious around that goal crease area, but this is hardly the time to do anything foolish for either team, because the Jets have cut into the Detroit lead. 3-1 now. Now they're ready, and here's the draw. Here to the far side, Manson battling with area in the wings, able to clear the zone. There's McCarty stealing one, rolled it through the crease, but Janney starts back for the Jets. Big Janney. The left side, McIver bouncing puck. Rolled it to the corner. Kachuk is well covered. And Bob Airy hacked at it to McCarty. Bounced it to the line and then gloved it out to center, and that's a hand pass. And the whistle sounds. We're down to 7 minutes remaining in regulation time. Detroit with a 2-goal lead. Now the Jets, Newman to Mike Stapleton, whose dad was a great star in Chicago for many years. And Shandor chopped it in. Coffey back. Put it around the boards. Tverdovsky pinched and held it in. Now the Wings are able to clear it. The race is on at center, and Newman only picks it up for Winnipeg. To Korolev. He's forced to turn at center. Got it to Stapleton. In traffic for Zhamnov. Around the check to the deep slot. Put it to Tverdovsky. He ran into the official along the boards, and that cost him possession. Now Larionov able to clear it back to center ice. Larionov to Kozlov. His pass is deflected. Kozlov got it back, sends it wide. And Tverdovsky looks for Keith Kachuk. Down to 6 minutes left now in regulation time. The Jets need 2 more goals to have a chance. And the chances have been few and far between. Here's Larionov cutting in there. Takes a look for Kozlov, and the pass never got through, and that hit Manson, deflecting just outside the post. Dave Manson deep in his own end. As the problem with McCarty. And Janney able to get it to center.
Manson and McCarty, Pat, excuse me, still all tied up in a knot at the blue line. And McCarty decides better, but Dave Manson, tough guy to be around.
He was one of those guys, if his eyes ever cross,
Yeah.
get out of the way.
And they do.
Yes, they do. It has happened. I've seen it. Fine guy who really may have had his best year. He's had a terrific year for the Jets after struggling in Edmonton for a couple of seasons. An outstanding year for Winnipeg. He was a +3 for the Jets coming into this game in this series. The best mark on the team. Doan battling Coffey. Shane Doan tried to slip it in front. It didn't get there. Bergevin made a sliding block of the pass. 3 Jets behind the Detroit goal. Shannon working hard, then had it knocked away by Coffey, and he managed to clear it to center ice. Here's Primo sending it in. Newman in. That is pass picked off by Kozlov. Then Newman unable to get it back. Tipped it to Manson. Pass knocked off the stick of Zhamnov. Down to 4 minutes to go in the third. 3-1 Detroit. The Wings have allowed only 13 shots on goal against. As the puck jumps over the boards and into the bench area. The Wings trying to end the series, in shape to do it. The Jets 12-5, 2 goals for Kozlov, one of them before the game was 4 minutes old. Then Steve Yzerman scored late in the period, and the Wings have made that stand up until here in the third. And Norm McIver got this crowd pumped up, and he now has the puck. Trying to find some more magic, because there have not been too many scoring chances for Winnipeg throughout the game and the series, really. Here's Korlev trying to center Kachuk. He couldn't find the puck at his feet. Batista looking for Fedorov. He failed to get it out. McIver around the boards. Kozlov will get to it. He's got plenty of time. And he tried to clear and eventually did. It trickled just outside the line, and the Jets are back in offside. And the faceoff is taken by Newman. The Jets dump it in. Lidstrom on it. Nicholas Lidstrom.
You got to
hammers it around the boards. It hopped away from Tverdovsky. Harry had to let it go. He would have been offside. Now Yzerman chasing for it. Or Harry shooting. That deflected wide.
an interesting situation here, Pat, with those coincidental penalties. Of course, you're 4-on-4. There's 2:35 to go now. And you might see Terry Simpson get Javi Bulin out of there earlier than normal with a 3-1 deficit here.
Battle forward in the corner. Coffey has control. Cleared it to center. Taylor has a man with him. That's Draper. Taylor over the line for Draper to the backhand. He shoots. And a save by Javi Bulin. Rebound corralled by the Wings, and they'll take a few more seconds off the clock. 2:10 left now. Ed Olczyk. Bouncing it in there. Ramsey chasing it down. Move it to the far side. Good hit by Muni. Just flattened Larionov. And then it's held in by Olczyk. Going to bank it into the deep slot with the puck cleared back by the Red Wings.
So far, Terry Simpson not making any indication. Normally they'll pull a goalie with a minute to go to try to tie a game up, but being down by 2, you have to get him out of there with a minute and a half if you can.
Now Lidstrom mishandled it, but Yzerman there gets help from Coffey, and the race is on. Coffey in on Tverdovsky. Cut to the net, shoot, and a save by Javi Bulin. Rebound to the Jets. And the clock continuing to wind down on the Winnipeg Fortunes. McIver peels back with it, gave it to Kachuk. Now Zhamnov on the right side over the line. The coincidentals are over, and both teams are back at full strength. And we're into the final minute of Game 6, and maybe in the history of the Winnipeg Jets in the NHL.
Javi Bulin, there he goes.
There he goes, 6 attackers for the Jets as they dump it in. Coffey chasing it down. Hammers it around the board. Cicerelli able to bounce it to center. Janney throws it right back in. Coffey to the far side. Taylor battling with Newman and got it loose to Cicerelli. Dino with a chance for an empty net. The puck's rolling out of it. He shoots. Then he shot it wide. But the clock continues to wind down. There's a steal by Primo. An empty netter, and Detroit has won the series. And they will advance to the second round to play the St. Louis Blues.
Ironically, that's Primo's first goal of the series, too. And he's had lots of scoring chances that couldn't get it past the Boulin wall. And here he gets a freebie. As Tverdowski couldn't get it by him, and that's all she wrote. And this group here now in Winnipeg, unlike last week, up, standing, cheering their hockey club as they move on to Phoenix for next season.
And you're right, everybody in this place is standing and cheering. The game is over, the series is over, the history of the Jets in Winnipeg is over. And you're about to see one of the best traditions in all of sport, as these teams, after going at it tooth and nail for 6 games, will line up and exchange handshakes. And the Red Wings certainly didn't feel it would have taken them this long. You have to give a tip of the hat, especially for the guy wearing the mask in the Winnipeg goal.
That's for sure, Pat.